It's Madden NFL 23, and we'll be watching Terry McLaurin. He's one of the league's best.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. The Raiders set to go to work behind their veteran quarterback, and that's Derek Carr.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Montez Sweat in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Another try after the first down sack. Carr under pressure, and they got to him again. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. Boy, how about this to start a ball game? That's twice in a row now, Charles, if they get to it.
And how often do we talk about offenses that operate off of a script to begin games? Feels like this defense had their script together on this one, and their script said put the quarterback down and do it fast.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. And most people think of Derek Carr kind of as a guy who excels throwing the short pass, but he can dial it up when need be.
Well, one way or the other, you knew they'd have to push the ball downfield on 3rd and long, but I'm not sure the defense was expecting to push it that far downfield. Their math didn't add up, but it certainly did for the offense.
And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. First carry for Josh Jacobs. And once again, the Commander defense stout against the run game. They drop him for a 2nd straight play. Backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Benjamin St-Juste. And the Commanders force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. So, Charles, you talk about this offense, how well they've played. I mean, the defense, too, really. But they're sitting at 10-0 now on the year. 4-0, 5-0, that's nice. But once you start hitting double digits with these wins and no losses, I think the seriousness of the situation, it just has to ramp up.
Yeah, and when you do say 10-0, it can't scare you as a team. Just think about it this way. For most of the year, they've been playing to win their division and get to the playoffs. Now the playoffs are just about a foregone conclusion.
Man, it's caught inside the 10. A huge play there for Washington. 46 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
They'll run with Robinson. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
Again, it'll be Robinson. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. The line of scrimmage is the 2 here on 3rd and goal. They'll try and run. This is Robinson. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Brian Robinson Jr., his 25th touchdown. tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Commanders take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave them with a second and just a few inches left. On play action, it's Carr. He's going to air one out. And that nearly intercepted. It's incomplete. Now remember, he had a pick earlier, but couldn't reel that one in.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big third down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Carr finding Waller there for the Vegas first. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, and it's Las Vegas with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. Blitz coming, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second.
Well, that was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at their top spot, but they might be looking down at the second spot pretty soon. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So on 4th down, here's A.J. Cole to punt for the Raiders. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. That's taken on the 25. Now a hit and a loose football. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Was hoping to make a play there on the return with his speed. Instead, he makes a play for the other side.
Yeah, and how many times have we heard coaches say, you know, sometimes it's not really about those X's and O's we drop. It's about those Jimmies and Joes. And when you have a punt returner, he's one of those Jimmies and Joes, one of the best athletes. He's unable to make the play that they were seeking, though.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
After incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, it certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on 3rd down.
From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr. Looking right sideline, that's complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders are an extra point away from evening this one up. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And we are tied at 7. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. The 30. 10. And he'll bring it back all the way. Touchdown, Commanders.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring
let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown, as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a two-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Now a play fake. Carr. That went into the hands of Adams downfield. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A gain there of 21 yards. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Carr. He finds his man complete. It's Jacobs. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. On fourth down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Commander's going to retake the field for drive number 2. And you figure this should be a healthy, arrested, a focused unit. And they're working on a good winning streak. They had the week off last week. This is really a team, Charles, that should be in top 4.
I would agree absolutely with that. What coaches worry about, what organizations worry about, though, is overconfidence. They've been playing so well, and now they've had that extra time off. And we've seen teams come back off the open week and come out flat. So what a lot of good coaches do is they kind of game plan for that with their teams. On defense, they may blitz more in the beginning to get them going. On offense, they may go more up-tempo. Anything to get them out of that lethargy right at the beginning.
Powell's throw going into the hands of Williams. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Now here's a throw. It's complete. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. To throw again on second down. Powell going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll be dropped at the 36. It's a good gain of 18 on a play that originated back at the 18. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. A great effort there. 36 yards. And the Commanders will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now 21-7. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. From the 10. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out comes Devontae Adams in the offense for their next drive. Creeping up on 1,000, could get there on this drive. So a challenge for him to do that, but also defensively, maybe a challenge for them to not allow that.
And that means probably kicking even more coverages to his side. And what that really means is wherever he lines up, you will have a cornerback over in his area. Now instead of blitzing your linebacker, drop him into coverage. Instead of the safety dropping into regular coverage, that safety moves into that area to try and discourage the quarterback from going to him. That means everyone else, win your routes. You got an opportunity to catch passes now too.
A little bit of a cat and mouse game. So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Throwing now is Carr. And he wisely will throw that one away.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Montez Sweat. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. The final shot here before half for Carr. Lets this go for Renfro downfield. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So we have come to halftime. Halftime over, no problem with us. We skip right to the 3rd quarter and continue this midseason contest. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. So Washington in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. Taken at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Washington offense ready to go to begin the 3rd quarter. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They've reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner.
Yeah, they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
Yeah, he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. 24 yards to gain there. Another first down as well. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. Room here to run. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 87 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Again, it's Robinson. And he's brought down. They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. Robinson will take this one in. Touchdown, Washington. So he had the nice run to get him down there. Was stopped just short of the goal line, but they go right back to him, CD, and he delivers to finish the drive off.
A little extra determination there, don't you think, partner? You notice he didn't tap on his helmet and say, get me out after the run down to the end zone. He said, I almost got in. I'm going to get in on my own. I'm staying in. And he carries it across the goal line.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Taking it about the 1. And he's going to be out of bounds here as the run back will leave him shy of the 20-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 18. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. On play action, now Carr. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Las Vegas. Fielded at the 33. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Set to go again. Here's Brian Robinson, the Commander offense. He is knocking on the door for 100 yards in this ball game.
And it's so important. It doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal. Just short of it, a little bit over. A little bit over feels better to everyone. Offensive line, running back, team totals. Just something magical about breaking that barrier.
He's right there on the doorstep now. Now they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Now they go play action with Howell. And he fends him off. But he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
Gotta give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
To try again after the sack. Howell running right through him. They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. Just shy of the 20. And now they're in the hurry-up. They'll throw on 1st down. Here's Howell. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Malik Collins, the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5. After the sack on 1st down, Howell. And he will slide down with a good gain. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Now Howell. Touchdown! Herb Smith Jr. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Commanders will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Lutz with the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. So this drive spans 7 plays, and the result, a touchdown for Washington. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Fields it right around the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a...
Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Meanwhile, Carr's throw pulled in by Renfro. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. The offense on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times and 8 chances. This is 3rd and 9. Now Carr. Throw right side, going to be caught. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And it's Washington that scoops it up. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he is going to bring this one back to the house. It's a Commanders touchdown on the scoop and score. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. The Raiders now set to get the football back. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. To throw, it's Carr. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. And with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
2nd down and a run by Robinson. And he's going to be close to a 1st down as he gets this to the Raiders' 25. 123 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. And the Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down. Robinson will try to pick it up. And he's going to have a 1st down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. The drive stays alive, a 3rd down gain of 8. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball,
touchdown Washington. Terry McLaurin, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Commanders add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Lutz good on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Taking it about the 1. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Now the Vegas offense heading back out there. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. To throw is Carr. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Bryant. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
Basement. Defense.
So give him the yardage on the completion and also tack on 15 more.
If you get that hand up there, you've got to let go immediately or just not close the hand at all. He didn't, gave it a tug, and that was easy for the officials to see.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Here's Carr to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And he's into the clear. The 40. 20. And he will bring this one back. It is a pick six for a Washington touchdown. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them, play it straight, do all the right things, but these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on and get back to practice in the next couple of days.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Montez Sweat. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. So now Carr and the Raiders dealt a 3rd and long after that sack. He'll look to throw. The left side throw complete to Adams. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And taken right on the 30. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Well, here we go on the next drive for Washington. They've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the 4th quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives. This is caught inside the 15. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Well, this has been another impressive display by this undefeated team, Charles, and it looks like they're going to stay that way after this one.
Yeah, one of the league's best offenses. They stayed on brand in this contest because they continue to look good at what they do. Just added a late touchdown. Now they're really hammering home just how good they've been all year long, letting the rest of the league take notice.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. And now here come the Raiders. They are just obviously getting shellacked here on this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by J.C. Horn. And he will bring this one back. An interception return for the Commanders' touchdown. Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping they're holding a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap 1.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
So see what they do here. One final try now for Carr. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. So the game will continue for at least one more play.
Cannot finish a game on a defensive penalty. That's why they get one more untimed attempt.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Lets this go for Renfrow downfield. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination.